All right, so what we got here today is four terrifying cases of real zombies. Now, I believe zombies are real. I don't know about like dying and coming back from the dead, but you can definitely get a freaking what's it called? A rage virus from that like a movie 28 Weeks Later. Or I would hate it if that happened. I'd be fine with like normal zombies just coming back from the dead and just walking around all slow and stuff, but mm, I can't. I couldn't do some zombies just sprinting off everywhere. No, no, no. Screw that. Screw that. So we got four terrifying cases of real zombies here.
Number 4, Jungle Potions. In 1980, a Haitian man named Clervius Narcissi approached his sister, Angelina, at a public market. This was the first time she has seen him in 18 years since his death. When she asked him where he had been, he said that he was now a zombie who had returned from the dead. She did not believe him until he is able to tell her his childhood nickname. It really was him after all. This is the amazing true story of her zombie brother.
Bruh, that's crazy. So, nah, I don't believe it. Her brother supposedly died and came back 18 years later and told her some information about when he was younger. Like, he probably just disappeared, went somewhere else. I don't believe it.
In 1962, Clervius travels to a local hospital complaining of a fever and body pains. He is examined and sent home. The next day, he was declared dead by two doctors who were trained by U.S. physicians. According to Clervius, he could hear the doctors as they spoke over his corpse. He could feel the sheet being pulled over his face, and he heard his sister crying. He was awake the entire time but could not move, not even during his funeral, not even during his burial, not even during his resurrection.
Okay, so... But doctor said he was dead. I mean... Yeah, but there's like medicines that like slow down your heart. They could have been like messing with some voodoo stuff. I don't know. Did they put him in a casket and put him in the ground?
That's right, I said resurrection. Sometime after he died, Clervius was removed from his grave. His captors beat him and made him work at a sugarcane plantation, alongside other zombie slaves who had suffered.
Okay, yeah. I bet that's what happened. He had like some medicine that slowed down his heart to make him seem like he was dead. Like probably went to like a witch doctor that gave him some crap. Yeah, no, I don't know. He ain't no zombie.
For the same fate. When his captor died years later, the zombie simply walked off the plantation and found his sister. That's Clervius's account, but here's what really happened. Well, it's true that Clervius really did believe he was a zombie. He was actually most likely poisoned with a zombie concoction made from dangerous jungle herbs. These herbs lowered his heart rate and made him slip into a coma.
Told you.
Which is why the doctors were able to pronounce him dead. Afterwards, he was dug up by whoever drugged him and forced him into an underground slavery ring. By keeping him constantly drugged up, his captors were able to convince him that he was a zombie for years afterwards and made him work for free. The most popular plant to do this with is called scopolamine, otherwise known as devil's breath. It's odorless and tasteless, and when it's crushed into a powder, natives say it can be blown into a person's face to make them do whatever you want them to. It's not uncommon for someone to approach a tourist with a piece of paper that has crushed up devil's breath on it. Maybe it's on a map and they are pretending to ask for directions, or maybe it's a potent residue on a business card. Whatever the method of delivery, the trick is to get the paper close to someone and blow it up their nose. Apparently, this really works.
Estás aquí caminando y de repente, o sea, tú vas de espalda o vamos a una pinta caminando acá y yo me le paso por un lado y
Man, that's scary. You can just blow a powder in somebody's face and just make them do whatever you want. Well, yeah, I guess you could ground up some roofies, but I don't think you could just go into their airwaves and... Huh. Anyways.
así nomás con eso, nomás con ese destello. El man ya queda boom.
The United States Bureau of Diplomatic Security issued a warning about scopolamine on their official website in 2014. They say you can be rendered unconscious for 24 hours, where you are left in a dreamlike state and obey orders as they are given.
Holy crap, so it is real. Wow. Where is this from? Was it like South America? I ain't going there. No. I don't know where they said it's from, but I need to find out. Republican de Colombia. Don't go to Colombia.
In February of this year, 2 women in Colombia were arrested for using devil's
Yeah,
breath
Colombia,
to turn their
screw that.
victims into zombies and rob them. Nini Johanna Ray Sanchez, 33, and Jenny Rodriguez Velasquez, 29, were 2 women who would spike the drinks
Here's the way he pronounced their name, Velasquez.
of lonely men in nightclubs and bars. Afterwards, they would take them to an ATM and have them empty out their bank accounts. By the time they were caught, they had used devil's breath to steal over $30,000 from about 30 different victims. Just last year, 3 people from China were arrested in Paris for turning people into temporary zombies so they could be taken advantage of. They told their victims that inhaling the powder would give them ancient Chinese healing powers, but robbed them while they were incapacitated instead. They told their zombie slaves to take them home and stole all of their jewelry along with other valuables. They were finally captured after a person who was one of the victims positively identified them. When authorities searched the hotel room, they found a wide variety of mysterious herbs and substances designed to erase people's minds. Number 3.
Man, that is unreal. I didn't know that. Like, people out there that are blowing powder in people's faces and making them do what they want. Dude, I knew about roofies, but just blowing powder in somebody's face. I got a lot to think about now. That's scary. I don't know.
Surgical zombies. In 1936, a psychiatrist named Walter Freeman performed an experimental new procedure on a human test subject. The patient, Alice Hammitt, was a Kansas housewife who suffered from anxiety, insomnia, and depression. Dr. Freeman suggested a certain type of surgery that was designed to prevent excessive emotions by cutting nerves within the brain. It was called a lobotomy.
Ew.
The psychiatrist had studied this procedure.
Oh, is that thing where they like stick a needle in your nose and hammer it in there? Oh, I think that's what that is.
While he was living in Portugal, and now felt ready to perform one himself. To do this, he drilled holes into Alice's skull and inserted a sharpened stake-like medical instrument called a loquetome straight into her brain, but they observed how she felt much calmer. The process took about an hour and was deemed a success. Freeman went on to perform about 3,500 lobotomies to supposedly cure people of their, quote, excessive emotions. Even though only about 1/3 of his lobotomies were considered a success, the medical community began to champion the
1/3 of 3,000 were successful. Excuse me, 3,500. 1/3 of 3,000. That's crazy. A lot of people's lives got messed up from that. Even though they were probably already messed up, but still. God dang.
Considered a success, the medical community began to champion the procedure. Later on, Freeman developed a new and allegedly improved style of lobotomy that used an ice pick instead of a loquetome. This method was called the transorbital lobotomy.
So, this doctor invented a new surgery where only 1/3 of the patients it actually worked on, and they let him invent something new that he's going to work on more people on, right? What's wrong with science, man? Or not science, but I don't know, whatever doctors were surrounding him that just let him do this crap.
And it took less than 10 minutes to perform. For this procedure, Freeman strategically jabbed certain parts of the brain by going underneath the eye with an ice pick. Before any of this was done, the preferred method was not any type of general anesthesia, but rather to deliver electrical shocks to a person's head until they were too stunned to feel anything. Ice pick lobotomies left a person with 2 black eyes, but they never lost their sight because of the angle that the ice pick was inserted did not harm the eye itself. The actual result of the operation, however, varied considerably. Sometimes a person was left completely
Oh my god. My sinus is hurting now. Oh god.
unchanged, but other times they were left without a personality at all. That is, if they didn't die of shock or from infection. Many people had been effectively turned into zombies. Despite its low success rate, lobotomies were highly popular because there were no other ways to treat mental illness.
They're not zombies, they're brain dead. That's unreal if they just let them do that.
Number 2, toxic mold and parasites. Zombies exist all throughout nature. You don't have to look very far to find them. Cordyceps is a common variety of fungus that grows everywhere.
Oh, this man's pronunciations, though. Cordyceps.
Where from forests to valleys and reproduces by creating its very own zombie army. The cordyceps start out as a special
there you
type
go.
of mold spore that lays dormant on the forest floor. When a hungry insect comes by and eats the spore, it becomes an infected carrier. The fungus takes over the bug's central nervous system using poisonous chemicals and basically makes it act completely
Oh yeah, is this that fungus that like takes over the brain and makes them go stand on leaves so that they can grow and spore out and spread more? I think that's what it does.
insane. The poor bug is technically kept alive, but it has absolutely no control over its own motor skills. As a
Yeah.
result, the infected move in jerky, spastic motions that look like the undead. It looks so bad that other insects can sense something is wrong with the zombie bug and tend to stay away. If it's an ant, for example, then other ants will carry it far away to protect the rest of the colony. As the infection worsens, the fungus makes the zombie stagger up a tall plant. When it reaches the top, the zombie bug is made to bite onto a leaf so that it won't fall off. With its host fastened securely in place, the infection ramps up and covers them in a fuzzy white mold as they die. The fungus eats their body, and eventually a long stem bursts out of the back of their head, where it continues to grow longer and
I know it's just an insect, but that's hard to
longer
watch.
for almost a month straight. By the end of all of this, the dead body has evolved into an alien flower with a strange bulb. It shoots spores into the air to infect countless other
That's
insects and
gross.
begin the process anew. Here's the bizarre twist. The cordyceps is fast evolving. There are already thousands of different types of the fungus, and each one will only go after one type of insect in particular, while leaving everybody else alone. With this in mind, is it so far-fetched to think that the fungus could eventually evolve to the point where it could start to affect small mammals, maybe beginning with bats and birds at first, but eventually moving on to larger prey?
Oh no, that would suck so bad. Can you imagine a fungus like? Let's just little speculate here for a second. We go to Wuhan, China. Everybody's eating bats, but little do they know it's got some cordyceps freaking fungus inside the bat, and gets inside the human, and they just start sprouting freaking mushrooms on the top of their head. Oh my god. Oh, this crap better not mutate to come to humans. Oh my god, that would suck.
Number 1, bath salts. In late May of 2012,
Oh, yeah, we all know about this one. Freaking guy smoking bath salts and just goes crazy and starts eating somebody's face or something like that.
31-year-old Rudy Eugene got in an argument with his girlfriend on a Friday night. By Saturday, he would be a zombie. Rudy became very hot and decided to take his clothing off as he walked across the highway. Even his driver's license was left behind. When he reached the end of an exit ramp, he paused under a shady underpass to rest. There, a 68-year-old homeless man looked back at him. Rudy was completely naked at this point when he went into his zombie rage. First, he rolled the homeless man into the sidewalk and started stripping the clothing off him. After landing a flurry of punches, Rudy dragged the total stranger further down the sidewalk and attacked him some more. Then he leaned over and sank his teeth into the man's face. After a few minutes, a witness named Larry Vega passed by on a bicycle. He shouted at Rudy to get off, but, quote, the guy just kept eating the other guy away, like ripping his skin. Larry even compared the attack to something out of the Walking Dead television series. At the same time, Rudy's girlfriend insists that either voodoo or a forced drugging had to have taken place. She said that Rudy feared God and would never act this way on his own. The homeless man, whose name was Robert Poppo, was completely devoured from his chin to his forehead. He amazingly survived, although he is now missing nearly all of his facial features as well as his sight.
Man, that's some crazy stuff. So basically we got crazy doctors, fungus, drugs, and more drugs. Man. At least we don't have any like actual like dying and coming back to life. That's yeah. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I don't want no friggin' 28 weeks later rage virus crap going on. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe. And if you're going through any hard times, remember it's only momentary. Thanks for watching.